It's the singing bowl. Very cool. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Sun is shining, incredible weather so far. I think the heat's planning to turn itself on again, but anyway, it's great to see everybody. And welcome everybody. And welcome to folks. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a long time. Sorry. It's wonderful to see folks I see normally and folks I don't see normally and people I've never met. Isn't that great that we all get together? So welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Hillsborough, where we strive to be an open and welcoming congregation to all who seek community and support. We don't worship in one specific way each week. A lot of the rituals are the same, but otherwise everything is different. And we don't require that we all hold a specific creed. We are a covenant community, committed to our shared UU values of interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice, centered in love. It's not a short list, and that's a plateful. We offer loving support for each other in our individual lifelong quest for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. So whoever you are, whether you are a member, guest, or friend, and for whatever reason brings you here today, either in person or online, we welcome you. And so in the spirit of welcoming, please turn to your neighbor and wish them a good morning. Good morning. Good morning. A good morning. We're here, we're upright, we're happening. It's a good morning. And my name's Linda Seligman, and I'm the worship coordinator. And Reverend Sonia Cornelis is our special speaker today with her sidekick, Asher. And welcome, Asher. And our month's theme this month is Awakening Curiosity. And we are a lay-led congregation with lots of folks behind the scenes who make our services possible. This place couldn't happen with all the people who do lovely things. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge all of the effort that is made that you never see, but without which we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much to everyone who does wonderful things here. And a reminder, this is an excellent time to either turn off your phone or silence it, what we affectionately call worship mode. And before we create our time together, let us take a moment to share some important announcements for the good of the community that may not be on the back of our order service. And so if you have an announcement, please come on up to our side microphone, or you could come up here and share your announcement.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and after service today, we're having the youth bake sale. We worked really hard to make all the food, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I have a bunch of announcements, as I often do. First, after the bake sale, if you stick around, we will have the bylaws town hall meeting where I will go through the proposed revisions to the bylaws with you in their entirety so that you are prepared to answer whether we would like to make these changes at our next CAL, which, by the way, is scheduled for June 7th. So that's today. In addition, I want to remind you that today is also supposed to be the end of our pledge drive. If you haven't pledged yet, I strongly encourage you to do so. We were supposed to have our GovCo meeting to balance the budget between what has been requested and what has been pledged. We're supposed to have that meeting tomorrow, but Kim is sick, so it will be postponed. So that gives you a little bit more time. But just as a temperature check, our current year's pledges right now are around $90,000. Our requested budget pledges that we're hoping for the next fiscal year are around $115,000. We are currently sitting at pledges around $33,000, which is far below what we have right now. And if that doesn't change, that means not only will we be able to not do the things that we propose for next year, but we will have to drastically cut what we're already doing. So I really strongly encourage you. Sorry, I know when Kim comes up here, she's like, yay, pledge drive, and I'm a lot more like dour about it. But I'm the treasurer, and I see this as like a potential catastrophe. So please get your pledges in if you plan to do that, so that we can make a good plan for next year going forward. The other announcements that I have are that the next Justice movie night will be scheduled for June 12th, which is a Friday. We don't know yet what movie we're going to plan to show, but we're hoping it'll be something on the theme of Juneteenth for next month. So keep posted that we're planning to do that. And then my next announcement is that my daughter Tessa is going to be having her bat mitzvah. It will be here on June 27th, which is a Saturday at 2 p.m. And if you are interested in coming to that, please let me know so that I can plan accordingly.
Geez, Alicia almost didn't leave anything for me to say. I just want to piggyback on the pledge drive. As of today, more people have not submitted their pledge than those that have, so don't be too distraught. Also, the new total as of now is $41,000, so we are on our way, but please submit your pledge forms if you haven't yet. You can submit those to me. There's paper forms here, there's a QR code here, there's a link on the website, there's a link in the newsletter. What you pledge stays private. I enter that into the computer and I only share that with the finance team. So what you pledge is up to you, but please, please do pledge. Thank you.
So if there are no more announcements, let's create some sacred space here for our time together, and we'll be lighting the chalice.
The questions that follow us home. This flame is for the questions that follow us home. The ones that refuse to settle, that sit beside us at night. Not every riddle is meant to be solved. Let this light keep open a space where not knowing is allowed to breathe. Now please rise in body and spirit for our opening hymn, the words by which will be on the screen.
Our faithful quest to
Well, ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. So each time on Sundays, we reflect on the special happenings that have occurred for us in this last week also. And some choose to share aloud, and some folks choose to remain silent. And here we make room for both. So for those of you who would like to share aloud, please take a moment to center yourself and to collect your thoughts so that what you share this morning is personal, heartfelt, and brief enough so everyone can share. And for those folks who are joining us online, we're live streaming the service, and there'll be a short break while people here speak. We do not stream audio or video during that sharing, so what is said here stays here. So if you'd like to share your joys or concerns with us, please put it in the chat, and we'll be able to drop a stone for you, or we could share that love for you. So let's pause for 3 big breaths. their hearts. And if you would like to do so, please, I invite you to the altar to release a stone in the vase while Tristan plays this. I Know This Rose Will Open. And as he does, you're invited to all sing in the second round of that song. We hold all these things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken. And by remaining silent for a moment, let us consider what has been shared and how we might respond. And let's close together with Amen and blessed be. Amen. Blessed be. And now for our children's recessional. What's happening in RE, folks?
We're getting ready for a bake sale.
Yay! That will be lovely. Have fun.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice. As you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
And at this time each Sunday we take up a monetary offering which supports our social justice work in Orange County. And this month our plate offering goes to the UU Justice Ministries. And UUJM organizes and co-creates a transformative movement for justice through spiritual grounding, collaboration, and imagination. The work is reflective of the intersectional nature of the movement for liberation and spans racial, economic, environmental, immigrant, and electoral justice, and more. So thank you for your generosity.
David Yelton will tell you this song has a trick ending. Watch out. choices in the mirror, faces at the door, and open on the rivers we've never seen before. Are there choices for the sparrow, or does he only fly high above the rivers that are pulling you and I? Or there are strange rivers, rivers that you cannot see, and there are strange rivers that know our destiny, and there are strange rivers that run your love to me. And he could have been a builder, he could have been the one to build his dreams of steel, cathedrals to the sun. And he could have been a builder, but then he popped the gun. There are forces in that river that keep him on the run, for there are strange rivers, rivers that you cannot see, and there are strange rivers that know our destiny, and there are strange rivers that run your love to me. Have you ever turned the corner and wonder why you did? You haven't been that way, you know, since you were just a kid. But nothing really happened, and then you have to say, what would have happened had I gone the other way? For there are strange rivers that you cannot see, and there are strange rivers that know our destiny, and there are strange rivers that run your love to me. Oh, there are strange rivers, and there are strange rivers, and there are strange rivers. But are there choices for the sparrow, or does he only fly high above the rivers that are pulling you and I?
Thank you, John. That was beautiful. Let's please join me in a prayer of collective gratitude for the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received. Let us be truly grateful. And now, it is my great honor to welcome my buddy, Sonia. Sonia Cornelis strives to help people remember who they are amid life's ever-changing variables. Sonia has over 20 years of ministry experience within Black church context, ranging from spiritual formation and discipleship, ministry leadership, preaching, and outreach programming. In her commitment to being fully engaged in providing spiritual care, she's completed several units of clinical pastoral education, CPE, and training focused on trauma-informed care, and that's how I met her. Lately, her work has focused on helping others locate self-compassion and joy amid chaos and crisis. I think we can all relate to that, as well as supporting others as they prioritize care of self as a practice of sacred resistance. Sonia finds joy in listening to music in outdoor spaces, cultivating community with friends through gatherings centered around food, rituals, and laughter, and graciously fumbling through motherhood of her toddler son, Asher. I think that's funny. I think we all have that experience of fumbling. So it's wonderful to see you, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm going to have my niece read the verse or passage of scripture that anchors my sermon for today, and I'll explain why when she's done. So please welcome Chase Talia Austin.
Hi. I'll be reading Psalm chapter 8, verses 1 through 9. O Lord, our sovereign, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. Out of the mouths of babes and infants, you have founded a bulwark because of your foes, to silence the enemy and the avenger. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what are human beings that you are mindful of them, mortals that you care for them? Yet you have made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You have given them dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under their feet, all sheep and oxen, and also the beasts of the field, the birds of the air and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the seas. Lord, our sovereign, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have been under the weather all week, and I'm about 60%, and I'm just getting my voice back. So I've been trying to do what I can to reserve for today. I will request just a little bit more volume. You all have told me that I speak kind of lighter and softer, but I'll need a little bit more support today. But I'm glad to be on the mend, and I'm thankful to be here with you all today. It's always a privilege to be among this community that I am so elated to be a participant in your service, what seems like on a regular basis. Would you all agree? So thank you, Chase, for reading that. Thank you for allowing her the opportunity to read. And I'm going to highlight one verse from the 9 that she just read. And that is verse 4. Here's a question. What are humans that you are mindful of them? Mortals that you care for them. My friends, we are in the season of why in my household. I have a 3-year-old, and I'm convinced that I hear the question, why, Mama? At least 126 times per day. Mommy, what is that called? It's a parrot. Why? Mama, what color is that? It's pink. Why? Mama, what kind of bird is that? A cardinal. Why? Mama, what are you doing? I'm eating. Why? Mama, can I have a snack? Not right now. Why? Mama, why do I have to go to bed? Because. Why? You all see where I'm going, right? Pray for me, happy thoughts, vibes, what it is your thing, because the season of why is a lot. And if I'm honest, there are moments when those questions really do wear me out, and I come up with a new phrase that says, Mommy's had enough of answering questions right now. I just need a little bit of a break. And every now and then, if I stay with it long enough, there's something in me that'll turn that thing around. And so what felt like interruption starts sounding like invitation. What felt like noise starts sounding like wisdom. Because curiosity is not a nuisance at all. It's a sign of growth. It is how children learn the world, I'm learning, and how they make meaning of their lives and the spaces that they're in, and how they discover who they are within it. And maybe, just maybe, that is not only true for children. Maybe curiosity is also a gift for us as we walk this life through whatever anchors us or holds us, supports us in our faith tradition or spirituality practices. Maybe some of the holiest moments in our lives begin not certainty, but with wonder. Not with having an answer, but being willing to ask, to notice, to listen. I think we all would have to agree we live in a world that rewards quick opinions. Okay, anyone over podcasts? I totally am. If it's your thing, I'm not judging. Fast judgments and confident declarations. But there's something about this song that invites us into another way. It invites us into awe. It invites us into humility. It invites us into the kind of wonder that reshape how we see the Creator in my belief system, the Creator of all of this. How we see ourselves and how we see the world around us. And if that is all right, I want to anchor this sermon with why matters. And so, there are three things that I think hold why or curiosity as spiritual practices for us. Before I dig into that, let me give you a little bit of context, because some of you may not read the Psalter. So Psalm 8 is actually a song. If you're familiar or you come from some form of Christian background, you may have a familiarity that the Psalter is poetry, songs that were sung in community, together, silently. And so a lot of it will read like poetry. And this particular song is a song of wonder, a creation hymn, and a worship text shaped for the gathered community. And so it opens with a line that says, "O Lord, our sovereign, how majestic is your name in all the earth." Which means the whole song is held together in praise, because at the same time, that ninth verse is repeated, that first verse is repeated in the ninth. So in other words, the song begins with praise, but it moves through reflection and returns back to praise. It's not just giving information, it's teaching the community how to see, how to wonder, how to question, how to think through things. And so the song likely emerged from Israel's worship. If you ever heard me preach here before, that is a group of people, the community people that are centered in the Bible, if you read it. So the writer looks up at the sky and is in awe of the stars, the heavens, the moon. And so they don't see it as a rival power, because in this community and during this time period, people believed in multiple gods, right? They don't see it as such. They see it as a divine creation. And that matters because in ancient world, Many surrounding cultures treated heavenly bodies as divine, but their testimony is this is something that was created for us to take wonder in. And so they say, or the psalmist asks, what are human beings that this divine that created the heavens and the stars, the earth, the moon, the galaxies, that he thinks about me, he or she thinks about me? That's a pretty profound question, if you ask. And the question is not one of self-hatred, it's not one of despair, it's one of astonishment. It's amazement that the creator of all of this, what I see, and what we see, and what we can't see, thinks that I'm a big deal too. Wow. And the answer to the song in this chapter 8 gives, it's pretty stunning. Humanity is crowned with glory and honor and entrusted with care for the earth. That is dignity, but it is also responsibility. And there are other layers. In verse 2, it tells us that strength comes from the mouth of babes and infants. So this writer is even saying, like, even the babies in their babble, right? I'm a firm believer that little ones see what we cannot, right? We've been on here on this earth long enough that we miss some things, right? There are often that my son will look, say, Mama, look over there. I see nothing. He sees something. And I think as adults, we're so far removed from the ability to do that. And I'm so grateful for those moments because it reminds me there's so much more to see. But in that, a reminder that divine often speaks through what the world dismisses as weak or does not have anything to say. And when the psalm says humanity is given dominion, it's not permission to exploit. It is a call to stewardship, to reflect the character of the creator of this all and how we care for living things, communities, the created order of our world. Later in the New Testament, we'll echo Psalm 8 in the book of Hebrews in a way of reflecting on human dignity and the fuller calling of humanity. Before that, Psalm 8 already offers a profound truth. We are small, but we are not insignificant. We are finite, yes, but we are not forgotten. And as we look at curiosity as spiritual practice, there are three things that I see. And I'd like to suggest curiosity deepens our sense of identity. The psalmist looks at the heavens and asks, what are humans that you are mindful of them? And if we're not careful, we can hear that question of worthlessness. But that is not what this psalm is doing. This psalm is not saying we do not matter. This psalm is saying, in a universe so vast, isn't it amazing? Creator still thinks about us. Isn't it astonishing that we are seen, that we are known, that we are held in holy regard? My friends, that matters in a world that is constantly trying to tell us who we are. The world tells us that we are what we achieve, what we produce, what we earn, what we post, what others say about us. But Psalm 8 tells another story. It tells us that our deepest identity does not begin in performance. It begins in relationship. It begins in the gaze of all this that is so magnificent. And Psalm 8 says your worth is not up for debate. You are mindful to by the divine, cared for by the sacred, crowned with glory and honor, not because you have done enough, but because love has already named and deemed you worthy. This means that life, the one that has been bruised, and confidence has grown. Psalm 8 speaks. When grief has made you feel small, Psalm 8 speaks. It reminds us that being small is not the same as being forgotten. It reminds us that humility is not the opposite of dignity. It reminds us that we can kneel in awe before the cosmos and still stand in assurance that we are also loved. Curiosity helps us return to that truth, because curiosity keeps asking, who am I? And it answers, you are someone who is remembered by the Creator of all of these things. Second, curiosity builds connection. When we slow down long enough to wonder, we begin to notice that we are not alone. We are connected to the one whose glory fills the earth, connected to one another, our fellow bearers of dignity, and connected to creation itself. Curiosity teaches us to pay attention to the beauty we overlook, to the people we misunderstand, and to the sacred possibilities tucked into ordinary life. Curiosity can make us a little more gentler with each other. It can teach us to ask what happened to you instead of what is wrong with you. It can teach us to listen before we judge, to learn before we assume, and to marvel before we dismiss. And friends, that's no small thing. In a time of division and dehumanization, curiosity can be a form of loving thy neighbor and loving them well. It can become a spiritual resistance to cynicism. It can become a way of honoring the divine, or whoever anchors or whatever anchors our faith or spirituality in people and their stories that we do not yet understand. Across race, class, gender, sexuality, age, ability, and belief. And that does not water down what we believe in. It deepens our practice of loving our neighbor. It reminds us that nobody is disposable, nobody is a throwaway, and no one stands outside the reach of dignity and mercy and care. It also reconnects us to creation. Psalm 8, if you remember, names the sheep and oxen, the birds of the air, fish of the sea, creatures common enough to be missed and holy enough to be named in a sacred text. The psalm teaches us that spirituality is not an escape from the earth. It is a way of seeing the earth more truthfully and more fully. The breeze, the soil, the rivers, the trees, the creatures of the land and the sea, all of it bears witness to the majesty of this great earth. And when we recover curiosity, and even in ordinary life starts to shimmer with holy meaning, the sky is no longer just weather. It becomes wonder. The neighbor is no longer just familiar. They become mystery. The earth is no longer just a resource. It becomes trust. And lastly, curiosity awakens purpose and calling. Psalm 8 says that humanity has been given dominion over the works of the divine's hands. But let's be clear, I'm sure why came out of that. Dominion is not domination. It is not abuse. It is not extraction without accountability. It is stewardship. It is care. It is sacred responsibility to tend what has been entrusted to us in a way that reflects the Creator. And that stewardship is wide. It includes the earth, yes, but it also includes our relationships, our words, our bodies, our neighborhoods, our institutions, and our common life together. Curiosity asks better questions of our calling. How do we care for what we have inherited? How do we protect what is vulnerable? Who is vulnerable? How do we repair what has been harmed? How do we live in such a way that our lives bear witness to reverence rather than entitlement? Those are spiritual questions. Those are ethical questions. Those are questions that should ground us. Holy curiosity does not stop at just admiration. It moves us toward participation. It asks not only, isn't this beautiful, but also, how should we care for it? It asks not only, aren't people worthy, but also, how shall we honor that worth? It asks, isn't this majestic? It also asks, how shall we respond to that? The psalm moves from awe to action, from wonder to vocation, from praise to practice. In other words, you cannot really see and stay the same. Can't hear the stories that we hear on a day-to-day as clinical chaplains and stay the same, or in the gas station, or in the grocery store, or with friends or neighbors or loved ones, or what's reported on the news. Cannot stay the same. Cannot really wonder and keep living like nothing has been revealed. Real wonder puts something on our hearts, and real praise will put something in our hands to do. So as I close, I want to encourage us never to stop asking questions. Never lose your capacity to wonder. In a world shaped by noise and violence, fear and uncertainty, curiosity can feel fragile, but it is still holy. To be curious is to remain open to the presence of the Creator of all, open to truth, open to transformation. It is to believe that there is still more to learn, more to love, more to repair, more to hope for. And if you are carrying weariness or grief or righteous anger or fatigue that comes from surviving hard things, from living on this earth, hear me well, wonder is still available to you. The sacred has not stopped meeting people in ordinary flesh, in tired bodies, in brave questions, and in communities that keep showing up anyway. So when life feels heavy and the world feels overwhelming, maybe the question is not only what's happening, maybe the deeper question is, what are you showing me? How are you calling me? And how can I faithfully respond? Frederick Buechner once wrote, to be wise is to be eternally curious. I believe Psalm 8 would tell us the same. And so on this week, your invitation, make room for holy questions. Step outside and look up. Listen to the child. Notice a neighbor. Tend something living. Repair one small thing that has been neglected. Refuse the lie of cynicism and maturity. Is maturity. Refuse the lie that tenderness is weakness. Refuse the lie that only the loud and certain have wisdom. Let your wonder be your teacher again. Let awe be your teacher again. Let love be your teacher again. And if you do, I believe you will find, I believe my ancestors and the elders tried to tell us long ago that life is spoken in the night sky and in the cry of the vulnerable, in the sanctuaries and on sidewalks, in scholarship and in song, in lament and in laughter. And I believe you will find that you are not forgotten, that this world is still charged with holy meaning, and that your life, yes, your life, has been entrusted with glory and responsibility and possibility. So go on and ask. Go on and wonder. Go on and love with your eyes open wide. Go on and tell the truth. Go on and tend what is fragile. Go on and not be weary in well-doing. And as you do, may the one who holds those stars, they just sit up there, y'all. The moon is just there for us to marvel at. Have you ever wondered, how is that thing that's so very far away, I can still see it glow? I can see when a star sparkles. Beautiful. Amazing. Oh. May we leave this place wonder in our minds, compassion on our hands, and holy curiosity in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you for taking me to the moon and to the stars and experiencing that wonder that is sacred. The stewardship we must have and the love and taking care of each other. I appreciate you touching on all those great matters. Yeah. And wonder and awe are antidotes to some of our ills of questioning and feeling just really down and dealing with all the stuff that's going on. But wonder and awe open us up and looking for what we don't otherwise see. So please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, The Oneness of Everything.
There I
our closing words. Love the questions themselves, by Rainer Maria Rilke. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves. Like locked rooms, and like books in a very foreign tongue, do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without even noticing, live along some distant day into the answer. Now please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Let us close together with Amen and blessed be. Amen and blessed be. And go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.